Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Megan, and today I'm going to be discussing episode 8 of Not Suitable for Work, so let's get into it. For some odd reason, this episode felt like a finale episode, and I know that we have one more episode left, but I feel like there was a time jump. I don't know why, but if we skipped Halloween and we skipped Thanksgiving, not necessarily that they have to do an episode on those, but we are already at Christmas, and I was thinking in my head, I was like, I wonder how many weeks have gone by, because it just gave a different vibe this episode than previous episodes. I think I might have mentioned this at the end of the last episode review, but I really don't see any of the characters getting together anytime soon. So any of the 5 main characters, I don't think any of them are gonna end up together. If there is, there's probably going to be one couple similar to what it was in Friends, but I can't tell who that is yet. The thing that happened with AJ and Bill, I'm not surprised it happened. I knew that it was just not going to work out, and he even said that. And I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting what he wanted by coming home and having his girlfriend or wife already be home. She may work a 8 to 5 job, or she just may be a housewife. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I do agree that they are both alike because they're both obsessed with their career. And sometimes that can be competition, or there cannot be a balance where if everything is all about work, it's not there needs to be other things in your life besides that. I just wish Bill would have told her ahead of time. I don't think he handled it the best, but I knew that AJ was going to be all in on the relationship. She was too enamored with him for it even to last, and I think he saw that and knew that. So no matter when he told her, I think it was going to be heartbreaking. AJ and Davis are in the same boat where they are both trying to heal from, I guess, rejection or breakup in this sense. Davis obviously really liked AJ, and she finding out that she was, in a physical relationship with their boss. I thought it was very telling that he hesitated at first, but he told AJ, he's like, I didn't think that you were like that. And I thought that actually spoke volumes. That made me, I would say, appreciate Davis, because I not necessarily think that he looks down to AJ or anything like that, but when it comes to, I think, professionalism and work, he never really expected her to be in a relationship with a boss or someone higher up, because that can definitely change a dynamic at work. But also, I thought he was going to mention that maybe with her being in a relationship, that would give her a leg up to everyone else on the team. I thought that's what Davis was going to say, but he said it and said something different in terms of I would never expected that from you. And so I wonder if that particular action that she made by being in a relationship with their boss changes the way that he feels about her. Sometimes there's things that people do in life, particularly in action, where you just cannot believe that they did that. And if they back that decision or back that action, you start to look at them differently. And I think it's no different when someone says they like you and you don't really like them back romantically. Your mind just thinks differently about that person. And so I wonder if this particular moment is going to be a turnoff for Davis to AJ. But you could tell towards the end of the episode that he is still healing from that, based on, asking Josh, tell me that she's a bad person. He's like, I can't tell you that. And so AJ is also in that healing process now, where she was all in this relationship, and now it's not being reciprocated. So it's probably going to take a little bit of time for it to heal. I wonder what Davis's reaction is going to be when he finds out that AJ and their boss is no longer together. I wonder how that's going to work, because he was awfully cold to AJ. But I think they definitely need to mend their friendship. And so if they get picked up for a season 2, it would be really cool to see how that kind of, gets back to basic on being in each other's lives, because I think they have a really unique relationship, being neighbors but also working together and kind of having each other's back. I don't think if there was a romantic relationship between them, it would work out. But I like the fact that they're there for each other and they have this civil, professional relationship. And you don't really find that a lot in workplaces. I do like that the coat check girl, gave Davis her number. I thought that was so cute. Both Josh and Davis walked out of there, with something good. Josh, oh my gosh, bringing the Tupperware to a fancy party. I literally could not get over that. And I loved how AJ said to him in the street, he's like, it's amazing how society accepts you. Because he's just so absurd. Like, he doesn't know what it's like to, live within boundaries or within a budget. And he's learning that from Davis. But the fact that he took Tupperware and he took it out, it's so great. And then Davis ended up getting that girl's number, or she just giving it to him. I can definitely see Davis with, not to get superficial, but with a blonde girl or just a nice, goofy girl that offsets his comedy. Kind of like Evan in Royal Pains, where his girlfriend, I can't even think of his girlfriend's name, but they're so cute together, and I can just picture Davis was someone like that. Kel and Abby seem to be having more scenes together. I guess if there were any characters within the core group that were going to a relationship, it probably will be Kel and Abby, but Abby doesn't feel that way about Kel, but it probably could be something later down the line, just because of their industries could cross. Kel is aspiring to be an actor, but he's also teaching, and then Abby is in fashion, so there are connections between both industries. However, I'm really worried about Abby. I hope that she looks at Kel as a good example, because Kel is an aspiring actor, but he has a full-time job. It's not necessarily the most paid job, but it is a consistent job every single day by having this long-term subbing gig. And I hope Abby kind of looks at Kel and maybe he can have a big influence on her, a positive influence by, maybe having an actual job and searching for clients on the side, because I don't think she's doing herself any favors with what she's in right now. She doesn't even have a consistent job. I wouldn't even mind her just apologizing to Vanessa and continue working under Vanessa. She's probably still so young, Abby is, that her career is still, it's still going to be growing. If she can get under Vanessa and stay consistent and take everything that she can learn from him, then she can slowly start to go on her own. But I think now she just doesn't have enough experience, enough connections for her to just go rogue away from Vanessa and try to do this on her own. She needs more people and more connections and more of a network. And I feel in my mind, I don't know, I feel like she's smart enough to just suck it up under Vanessa, but I think maybe with Austin's influence and the mistakes she's currently making, I hope she can reflect on that and realize, maybe, I did mess up. I'm just waiting for her to realize that, because it's just gonna get worse and worse with the small mistakes that she's making. And I really want her to succeed. And I think she's fantastic at, the job. I think she has the best job for her personality, what she wants to do. She's good at multitasking and everything. But I think she just needs to go back to basics and kind of, get that entry-level job and build up those years of experience to then be ready to go on your own. Because this episode felt like a finale episode, I honestly have no idea what next episode is going to bring. It seems like each episode that ends, it kind of teases us for what is to come. But this one, I honestly have no idea what's to come, because that ends with Abby coming home and AJ is crying on the couch. I just don't know. It seems like they're going to be having a New Year's Eve party. I honestly don't know who's going to be this kiss that seems to be in the description. I have no idea what's going to happen. It'd be crazy if Josh or AJ kiss each other. I don't know why I'd be thinking that. I don't even think that they would work out, but I feel like they have chemistry or they have a history. So that is exciting. But I'm enjoying the show. Everyone's kind of in a little bit of a slump right now. I honestly love Kel as a teacher. I wish that maybe he could stay as a teacher. Not necessarily. I think he has the best situation right now in terms of the things he wants to do, and he has a balance. He has like the full-time job of, the teaching, which you learn a lot being a teacher, as well as him aspiring to be an actor and balancing those things out. Definitely got in trouble for ditching class. I was just like, that wouldn't really happen. But he had to do the school dance, and I love how he's there for the girls, and I think they are very lucky to have a teacher like Cal who cares and is willing to, I don't want to say willing to take the time, but he, was willing to get to the end of the problem, even though he had to call Abby to help with one of the girls' dresses. I just love him in the school environment, and I think he really shines. So I hope that he stays on that path and continues to do acting on the side. I'd love to see Davis maybe make some big career moves. I wish we see more of his skills and his work. I feel like it's so focused on AJ just because I think she is the new character coming into the city, whereas the other characters have already settled in the city. So you kind of see a lot of it from her perspective. So hopefully we can get more depth on his character going forward in terms of his career goals and ambition. And we know he definitely wants to get married and start having kids and a family. And I think that's so cool and so admirable. And I hope that we get there with him. But I would love to see what else he has in mind for work, because he is in his second or third year at this company. And I'm just curious if he, wants to advance or kind of stay where he's at right now. We don't really know exactly. Whereas, Josh and Kel, Abby and AJ, you kind of already know career-wise what they want to do. But I would love to learn more about Davis. That's it for my thoughts on this episode. Can't wait for the finale. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.